Gautam, the Indian market has changed a lot, and Raymond has grown and taken, seized a lot of opportunities. Today, where do you see the growth coming from? Do you see it from the professional class, the younger class? Your product range also is from the casuals to the extremely formal clothes. Your fabrics also, as you were saying, from 150 rupees a meter to 3.5 lakh rupees a meter. Where is the Indian market going for fabric and garments?
Well, I think India fundamentally is changing. I mean, if you looked at India 20 years ago, where would an employee's son get a job? He didn't have that option. Today, if you take just some sectors, whether it's financial services, whether it's aviation, hospitality, IT, there are so many sectors that have come up where the youth is getting jobs. That is a changing face of India. Number two, we used to live, people said that when I become 60 years old, I'll save enough money to buy a house. Mm-hmm. Today there's credit. A 20-year-old is very different. He goes, he gets a job, he then goes and applies for a loan, he can buy a house on that, he can buy a car on credit. So today's 20-year-old is very different from a 20-year-old 40 years ago. He's living on credit, he's living the life, he's got access to a lifestyle today. Whether it's a multiplex, whether it's a shopping mall, whether it's retail, and there are people working in this. So today if you go to a young bar, you'll find a completely new crop of people, and this is the new India.
And that's why you also have to completely change your focus.
Yes, so we have different brands that address different segments of the market. We've chosen our markets, and we address those markets. And you can't stay with 5,000 rupee a meter fabrics, because you'll be dead, because the competition is coming from everywhere. The fabric industry has got competition from the apparel industry. Now, 10 years ago, there was no apparel industry because it was reserved for the small scale. So
right.
These are continuously dynamically changing situations. Now, Raymond today has Raymond, it's got Park Avenue, it's got Color Plus, it's got Parks, all fundamentally differently positioned. Raymond in itself is now making apparel, which is a big opportunity. So you can walk in and buy a Raymond suit, a ready-made suit.
But it's also become more competitive for you, right?
Well, we always welcome competition. It keeps us on our feet, and we love it because it just energizes the whole organization to compete harder.
So the whole focus on brand also means that while you said that your core value is trust, consumers don't value trust as much as something which is new, which is trendy, and the kind of consumer that you're describing is less perhaps loyal to brands than they were 15 years ago.
Well, if you look at it the other way, today if he's going to go and get married, his father, the first thing will tell him is get a Raymond suit.
Right.
And that comes from trust. He trusts his father to recommend it, and his father will recommend it.
Right.
Today, bulk of India gets married in a Raymond suit. I mean, it's the first preferred suit. So, so whilst you still have a very large share on the marriage market, which is the suit for the marriage, we're trying to catch the youth a little younger. So brands like Parks are going to that. Mm-hmm. Color Plus is in a different position. Color Plus is more 35-year-old, more casual space. Park Avenue is the young executive. Park Avenue has got a great range of suits, but it's also now got a great range of casuals. Like I showed you earlier, the linen shirts and all. It's a lifestyle brand. Raymond is also a lifestyle brand.
Is Indian market becoming more global? Do you see the appreciation of trends, colors, fabrics being
Today the world is decimated. I mean, on my iPad, I can see the world. I can reach any destination of the world at a click of a button. If I want to see what an international brand is doing, I have to just type the brand name in and I get all the visuals and images.
And also people don't come to stores. The e-commerce change has also meant that while you have a fantastic store where we are discussing these issues, a lot of people don't feel the need to travel to a store.
Well, in this business, it's a touch and feel business.
Right.
People still like to see. Also, it's an impulse purchase business. You're traveling, you're walking around in a mall, you walk into a store, you like something, you pick it up. So from that point of view, this is not so e-commerce driven. People like to touch and feel.
But the casuals, perhaps?
Sorry?
The casuals,
Casual
perhaps?
is also about touch and feel. The washes, the finishes.
But you see that you will not have that kind of impact, either positive or negative, because of e-commerce for your range of
Well,
products.
e-commerce is an added distribution, this thing,
Right.
but you cannot get rid of the physical retail. I mean, this flagship store, people love to come here. We have hundreds of customers that come here, they look, they touch, you get advisory. I mean, e-commerce, I think at some level is overdone. I mean, let me give you an example. I was going to buy a television, and I had a guy, he said, no, let's buy it from physical retail. I said, no, but the e-commerce is, so much cheaper. He said, yeah, but they don't give you installation, and they don't give you a warranty.
Right.
So I said, no, this is a top brand that I'm buying. I'm not interested in warranty. Why should I? I mean, it should be a great product. Luckily, I listened to him, because the next day we got a TV delivered from physical retail, and it was defective. Now, 1 in 100 chance it was defective.
Right.
Coincidentally, the guy replaced it overnight. Had I bought it through the e-commerce channel, my money was down the tube. But in e-commerce, you also got to read the fine print. You don't necessarily know what you order is what you get.
True. So that's an important piece of this. A little bit about, as the market becomes more complex and, new frontiers are opening for you as a group and at Raymond Limited, you're also professionalizing in a way that you're devolving a lot of your authority and decision making to a new crop of professionals. What does this mean for the company and the group?
See, to grow you have to change, and to change you have to grow. You've got to keep evolving. I mean, I can't keep doing the same job every day.
Right.
I'm secure enough to move on and do something different. There's so much I want to do, and there's a way an organization has to move forward. I mean, you have to give power to get power. I genuinely believe the more power you give, the more power you actually get. It empowers you even more as a leader. I've seen so many business leaders who sit there and they want to control everything, morning, afternoon, evening, night. There's so much more to life to do. And we've professionalized this group significantly. You must have read a lot of what we're doing. And it's not made me any less powerful. I'm being very candid about this. It's not made me any less powerful, but it's just letting me do stuff that I believe can take this group to the next level.